Nintendo, One Piece, and YouTube, Roger D. Luigi, the king of the One Piece community, obtained this and everything else the world had to offer, and his dying words grow countless weebs to the sea.
You want my content? You can have it. I've left everything I've gathered together in one place. Now you just have to find it.
Are you sure we're watching the right anime? I don't remember the intro being like that.
Now, hold on. Let's keep it going. This Roger guy is speaking facts.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for each arc in One Piece. It sure has been a while, but we finally arrived at the critically acclaimed Paramount War Saga. The Paramount War is arguably greater than the Water 7 Saga, because like within 5 arcs, we just get banger after mid after banger after banger after that's okay. Sabaody Archipelago is a major turning point in the story.
Goated story!
Especially for the Straw Hats, because we meet all kinds of characters, both new and old.
Hotshot #1, Trafalgar Law takes no L's, let's go!
And we learn so much more about the world, and this arc just hits you in the feels like no other.
I got my therapist on speed dial.
Today, I want to remind us all how Sabaody became the arc that changed One Piece. So watch The Little Mermaid, participate in an auction house, and be prepared to lose all of your friends as we explore Sabaody Archipelago, a nightmare of reality. Sabaody Archipelago is 21 episodes and 24 chapters. Over at Mirijois, Kuma gives Sengoku a brief rundown of what happened at Thriller Bark by watching my video. He's a big fan. Thanks, Doug. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats are sailing towards Fishman Island when just then, a strange phenomenon occurs. Breaking news at Water 7.
Welcome everyone to Water 7 News, our top story tonight. Multiple whirlpools were found near Sabaody Archipelago. Reports say this was caused by a man with burn scars in a black ship carrying a large red stone. Many in the community are saying this might be the work of Monkey D. Dragon, leader of the Revolutionary Army. Now, while that may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, we cannot ignore the possibilities. Stay safe, and we'll update you all very shortly.
The Straw Hats manage to escape the strange weather and come across a familiar location. They've once again reached the Red Line, marking their journey at the halfway point. My ass, we're halfway done.
I'm still too weak.
Oh, okay. How else do you expect me to compete with someone who considers lifting truck-sized weights weak?
Give me a break, Fishman Island. Where are you?
You're not gonna believe this.
Just then, the crew is attacked by a sea king. Luffy reminds the creature that tricks are for kids, and 2 objects emerge from the beast's belly. A starfish named Papagoo.
What the fuck?
And the mermaid, Kami.
So I gotta know, how do you poop?
What's going on, everybody? Roger's Base here, and today we have to talk about one of the biggest plot holes in One Piece to date. How does Kami poop? This is honestly something that could make or break the series for me. We have to talk about it.
After the formalities, Kami gets a call from a couple of fishmen thugs who kidnapped her friend and sent him off to the Flying Fish Riders, a group of bandits who are in the slave trading business.
Slave trading or something? Pretty sick stuff.
The Straw Hats agree to help Kami save her 8-armed friend who totally never traumatized a girl with orange hair and her entire village for 10 years. The Straw Hats land at the Mackerel Gang base, and just in the middle is Kami's friend Hotshot. Oda, you are so lucky that's a fish man. That's right, Hachi, way back from Arlong Park, has returned. I remember the good old times of that arc. Good times, good times. He even had his own cover story called Hotshot Seafloor Stroll, which explains how he met Kami and then eventually opened up his own restaurant. Everyone in the crew understandably want nothing to do with Hachi. Kami, feeling betrayed, goes to help Hotshot herself, only for her to immediately get captured.
This will not be the last time this happens.
Nami decides to let go of her grudge to help Kami and Hotshot. Although one guy holds an even greater grudge against our beloved Sanji. It's so bad, you'd think he's your average Zoro fan. Duval, the leader of the Macro Gang, wants to kill Sanji for ruining his life. Duval calls for the Flying Fish Riders to attack the Straw Hats, but that was a mistake. Duval takes matters into his own hands. He bursts into the scene on his trusty steed and calls out Sanji for a fight. Luffy attacks Duval, revealing a dark tragedy that makes Berserk look like a children's coloring book. Duval has the exact same face as Sanji's wanted poster.
Duval was nothing more than a simple mountain bandit, terrorizing the local town and stealing from civilians, putting many lives in financial ruin. He lived a nice, quiet life, but one day, the Big Bad Navy attacked Duval, mistaking him for Blackleg Sanji of the notorious Straw Hat Pirates. Days to weeks to months went by as Duval became a wanted man on the run. He feared for his life until one day he decided enough was enough. He'll have his revenge on Sanji for ruining his peace.
You hear that, Sanji? Because of you, this once blessed angel has now turned to a life of crime. What do you have to say for yourself?
Who cares?
And just as an extra fuck you, Frankie unveils the hidden technique of the Thousand Sunny. Hyper Beam!
Say what you will about the series. Yeah, it has its problems, but this is objectively cool as fuck.
After a job well done, they celebrate by eating Hachi's special takoyaki balls. Man, those look really good. I wonder what it's made of. Hachi, what have you done? Sanji may be a great chef, but he's also a world-renowned plastic surgeon, giving Duval a spiffy new look. Thanks to that, Duval turns a new leaf and wants to repay the Straw Hats. The gang mentioned that they plan on going to Fishman Island, but have no idea how to get there. Papagu and Kami mentioned the two most common ways to get to Fishman Island. The safest is to abandon one ship and take an elevator up the Red Line and buy a new ship on the other side. The second way, common for pirates, is to go 20,000 meters below the Red Line straight to Fishman Island. Hachan says he knows a mechanic living on Sabaody who can help. The gang arrive at the dreamland paradise of Sabaody Archipelago. Just like how Logtown was the end of the East Blue, Sabaody marks the end for the first half of the Grand Line, known as Paradise.
Ugh, it's really sticky.
That is one of Oda's favorite scenes he's ever drawn. Like, you've drawn so many iconic moments that have moved all kinds of people all over the world, and this is in your top 3. Go to at it again. Frankie, Usopp, and Sanji stay on the ship. Nami and Robin go shopping, and while Zoro's off to find the meaning of life, the rest of the gang explore the archipelago. However, it doesn't take long for them to learn just how horrible this island can be. A pirate captain, wearing a strange collar, begs the citizens to help him escape.
Please, I've got a wife and kid back home. My little boy, I left when he was just a baby. He doesn't even know what I look like.
Dad?
Luffy arrives at the scene only to witness the pirate's collar explode. To make matters worse, the Celestial Dragons arrive. Descendants of the founders for the world government, they see themselves as gods among men, wearing crazy suits to avoid breathing the same air as common folk, making people slaves like they're buying toys at the toy store, and killing anyone who even so much as blinks weird without a second thought. Due to their high status, they can get away with just about anything. Anyone who dares to hurt a celestial dragon will be bombarded by a fleet of marines led by an admiral. That's so stupid to me. Why should the celestial dragons be given such godlike praise and treatment just because they're barely related to the founders? That would be like if I got special treatment just because I'm somewhat related to important world figures like Thomas Jefferson, Martin Luther King, or Selena Gomez. The Straw Hats arrive at Shaki's Ripoff Bar in Grove 13, home of Hachan's friend who helped them get to Fishman Island. They meet the owner of the bar, Shaki, the queen of extortion. She's an old friend of Hachi's. Shaki tells them the mechanic they're looking for hasn't been around for about 6 months and is probably in the lawless area. She also mentions the existence of 9 other rookie pirates who've entered the archipelago not too long ago. These are the Supernova, powerful pirates with bounties all exceeding 100 million berries. A woman who could give Luffy a run for his money in a food eating competition, Jewelry Bonnie, worth 140 million. A guy who is obsessed with the Godfather movies, Capone Gang Beige, worth 138 million. That one friend who's really into tarot and zodiacs, Basil Hawkins, worth 249 million. The worst of the bunch, just wait till Wano, Scratchman Apu, worth 198 million. The man who sure hates dudes with red hair, Eustace Captain Mid, Kid, worth 315 million. Whose hometown was destroyed by Eminem's twin brother and has a hobby of lovemaking? Well, that's none other than Mad Monk Arouge himself, worth 108 million. He's in the middle of fighting Kid's bestie, a well-mannered assassin with the goofiest laugh you'll ever hear, Killer, worth 162 million. Their fight is interrupted by a dude who can't stick to one occupation, X-Drake, worth 222 million. After the fight, X-Drake comes across the fan-favorite Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law, worth 200 million berries. Here's my favorite fact about this arc. Just the fact that, like, originally Oda had zero plans to include all of these supernovas in this story. Because when Oda was originally looking at Sabaody, he was kind of just like, it's a little bare bones just having the Straw Hats in it. So he included 9 brand new characters on the spot who've all just become, like, well-beloved mainstays in the story that everyone cares and adores for. They all have their own backstories and are really fleshed out. Like, you also can't go wrong with any of the characters. Like, they're all pretty amazing, honestly. Like, you can't go wrong with loving any of them. But I don't know. Like, Roger, who's your favorite?
Man, that's a tough one, DJ. Honestly, I feel like I have to give it up to Basil Hawkins, though. He's just such a well-rounded character that honestly I feel like not a lot of people truly understand.
Luffy's team gives up on finding the mechanic and just play at the amusement park. However, no matter where you go, Freddy will always be there. Over on the other side of Shit City, St. Charlos, a celestial dragon and contender for the worst character in the franchise, is taking a casual stroll with his latest slaves.
It's settled. I'm making you my new wife.
What are you doing? She's my fiance. You can't just come here and...
Men, watch out. St. Charlos is the real Mr. Steal Your Girl. On the account, he will literally shoot you and then take your girl prisoner. While everyone fears the celestial dragon, our clueless Giga Chad pulls up to St. Charlos. Feeling threatened by the Sigma, the sniveling beta lashes out. However, Zoro is stopped from speedrunning the arc. Back over at the Sunny, Sanji's team gets a call from Chopper. Kami has been kidnapped and will be sold into slavery. The Straw Hats scramble to find Kami. Sanji calls up the new and improved Rosy Life Riders to help speed up the search. Over at the auction house, Kami is being prepared as the main event for tonight's Twisted game, as she's forced to wear one of the explosive collars like the pirate from earlier. The abusive men are stopped due to a strange power. The one responsible is the man the Straw Hats have been searching for this whole time. A true demon among men. Introducing... I don't know what the fuck that says. Nami's team arrived to bear witness to the atrocities of the world. One by one, the unfortunate souls are sold off to the wealthy for their own petty desires. For these people, playing with the lives of the less fortunate is seen as a fun little game to kill time. Nami decides to play their Twisted game. She'll wager all 200 million berries they got from Thriller Bark to save Kami. Finally, the main event begins as it's Kami's turn to be sold. The crowd goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, hoping to add a rare delicacy to their collection. St. Charlos loses his goddamn mind and blows the competition out of the park.
I bid 500 million!
Oh shit, the Straw Hats need our help. Here, I got like a 5. How much do you have?
DJ, I'm a YouTuber. You think I got money?
Nami's team, completely at a loss, weigh their options. But just then, the big guns arrive as Luffy and Zoro burst into the scene and rush to Kami's safety.
That's enough! Stop all that annoying babbling, Vic!
jokes aside, this is one of the most iconic and well-beloved scenes in One Piece. Back in Arlong Park, the fishmen were just seen as these ruthless, brutal, violent creatures who just hated humans because they were deemed inferior physically. However, here we get to learn more a bit about where that hatred and fear of humans comes from with the unfair slavery and racism of the fishmen race. Hachi's speech to Luffy is honestly very heartbreaking, and just him talking about how much he hates himself and regrets what he did to Nami 10 years ago and how much he wants to redeem himself for that. Then Luffy just saying, fuck it. He knows the consequences, not to its fullest extent, but he'll beat the shit out of anybody who dares hurts his friends. Spoiler alert for future events in the story, but St. Charlos does get his ass beat a lot more often, and I'm hoping that someday somebody just makes a compilation of all the times St. Charlos got his ass kicked. I would love to see that. Million views guaranteed.
Navy headquarters. A celestial dragon was struck? I'll send an admiral right away. Oh, it was St. Charlos? I mean, he probably deserved it, but sure. All right, we'll send a fleet over.
The auction house goes crazy. The nobles rush out the door as the Straw Hats fend off the guards. The auctioneer threatens to kill Kami, but before he can pull the trigger, everyone in the room suddenly collapses as the mechanic makes his grand entrance. This is the Dark King Rayleigh, the ship mechanic of Sabaody and former first mate of Gold D. Roger, king of the pirates. Rayleigh removes the collar using some fancy technique that'll be relevant in 500 episodes, and says they need to leave, but they realize the entire crew is surrounded by Marines. Luffy goes off to fight the Marines so the rest of the gang can escape, but he's not alone, as Kid and Law were in the auction house this whole time and join in on the battle. Standing before an army of Marines are the 3 pirate captains who represent the new pirate era. Trafalgar Law's up first, demonstrating his ridiculously overpowered fruit. He summons a circle known as a Within that space, he can cut anything without damaging it and rearrange the parts to his liking. We have Eustace Kid. He's basically a bootleg Magneto with the magnet fruit, able to control any metal object, but he uses it to just make a giant fist and punch people. The combination of these 3 powerful individuals make it easy for them to escape the Marines. However, things aren't looking so good for Kid, as his crew encounters the tyrant warlord of the sea, Bartholomew Kuma. Thankfully, Kid isn't alone as the Heart Pirates join in on the battle. It's a tough fight and everyone gives it their all to defeat this powerful foe. Kid and Law, completely exhausted, get the jump on Kuma and they actually beat the tyrant.
Round 2.
I don't think that's how that works. The gang make it to Shaki's bar. After patching up Hachi, Rayleigh confirms his status as Gold Roger's first mate. Rayleigh reveals that Gold D. Roger wasn't captured by the Marines before his execution. He let himself be captured, as he had a fatal disease. 4 years before his death, they went around the world one last time. On the way, they recruited Crocus from Reverse Mountain. He mentions that our god among men, Buggy D. Cloud, was an apprentice within the crew, along with the red-haired stallion.
As comrades, we risked our lives together, but I know next to nothing about where they are or what they're doing now.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying that one of them has a bunch of burn scars and is just roaming around the seas in a black ship carrying a large red stone, but I don't know, sounds dumb as hell to me.
The treasure Roger talked about! The legendary One Piece! Tell me, is it really?
That's enough! I don't want to know where the One Piece is hidden.
What? Why?
I don't even want to know if it exists.
Then what are we doing? We're 400 episodes deep and you're telling me the main character has the chance to figure out what the treasure is from the people who found it, and he doesn't want to know where it is or if it's even real. One Piece fans, what the fuck are we doing with our lives? Oda has confirmed that the One Piece won't be something like, it's all about the journey, not the destination kind of bullshit. Because if it were, then for me, this honestly would be my least favorite anime of all time instantly. However, though, for Luffy, that is what this is. him already knowing what the treasure is and where it's located would completely ruin the point of this journey for him, because he cares more about, you know, going on this grand adventure and discovering new places with his friends, and the treasure is just a cool bonus. While Riley goes to get the Sunny ready for Fishman Island, the gang head off for some supplies. Unknown to them are the consequences of their actions as the Marines make their assault on Sabaody. Leading the front lines is one of the 3 admirals, the Yellow Monkey Borsellino. That's what Kizaru means, I am not racist. Just like Aokiji, Kizaru is an unstoppable monster with his own Logia Devil Fruit known as the Glint Glint Fruit, giving him the broken power and speed of light. At first, he runs into Hawkins, who shows off his lukewarm Straw Fruit, able to make dolls representing his men who take the damage instead of him. However, it's not enough. Joining the fray is Mad Monkarouge, who's having his own struggles as he's in the middle of fighting.
Round 3.
Alright, either Kuma just murked Law and Captain Mid, or he's got like multiple brothers. Okay, let's just see what the Straw Hats are up to. Can we go back to the East Blue, please? It's a tough battle for the crew, especially for Zoro, as he's still hurt from Thriller Bark. The gang work together, using everything in their arsenal to beat the Warlord. For some reason, Kuma isn't using his Devil Fruit abilities. Just then, a little round Boy Scout named Sentamaru drops down with another Kuma. The truth is, this isn't Kuma. These are androids known as pacifistas, war machines created by the genius Vegapunk, based off Kuma with the laser powers of Kizaru. The Straw Hats split up in teams of 3, but Sentamaru won't let them go so easily as he blocks Luffy's squad. Sanji's group is dealing with the pacifista, and Zoro's team has it the worst as they come face to face with Kizaru, who's seconds away from killing Zoro. No need to fear, the God tier is here to save the day. Not sure how Rayleigh can just kick light though. Must be an animation error. Luffy reiterates that they need to retreat, but the real Kuma doesn't like that idea.
Surprise, motherfucker!
In a hopeless situation, Chopper lets his emotions take center stage as he once again becomes an uncontrollable monster. Meanwhile, the real Kuma says he's come to finish what he started. With a single slap, Zoro is gone. Kuma doesn't stop. Brook, Usopp, and Sanji disappear in seconds. What really sucks is that Brook just joined the crew, and now he's gone. The worst part is, it's gonna be a minute before we see him again. Now Frankie, Nami, and Chopper are gone too. Trying to prevent Enies Lobby 2.0, Luffy rushes to save Robin, but even she is taken from him. For the first time in his life, Luffy feels utter despair. A boy with big dreams has his entire world shattered in a day. Unable to save his crew, the big frog in the small pond comes face to face with reality as Monkey D. Luffy, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, is no more. To be continued. That's the end of Sabaody Archipelago and the beginning of the Paramount War Saga. Sabaody marks a significant change to the One Piece story. Like, I can only imagine how it must have felt like for fans reading this chapter for the first time when it dropped. It's really nice going back to this arc and seeing all those major gears of where they first originated from for the story. Like meeting all the Supernova, meeting Rayleigh, Kizaru, learning finally more about the One Piece a little bit. The Celestial Dragons and the teaser for Ace's execution at the climax of this arc. All the major set pieces begin here. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you think about Sabaody Archipelago. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and I'll see you in Amazon Lily. Bye. Well, my depression is at an all-time high.
Ah, don't sweat it, DJ, because Amazon Lily is next.
The island of the strongest female warriors, huh?
A new warlord makes her debut, the second most beautiful woman in the world. Could this be Luffy's real mother?
Sorry, Krakow Mom, you've been replaced.
On the next One Piece, a comedic review of Amazon Lily in about, 9 months at this rate.
It won't take that long, I swear.